Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step two, get some good, some food in you. Step three, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step four, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set
March is where we level up. Tuesdays and Thursdays, live at 5 p.m. Pacific. Ash Knows Travel.
Let's go.
Get ready to log in and change the travel industry. Welcome to Ash Knows Travel. The future of travel has arrived. Let's get started.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Ash and welcome to my YouTube channel Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthroughs, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's training is called Behind Closed Doors, What Experienced Travel Advisors Do Differently. And we're going to talk about the habits, the systems, and the mindset shifts and decisions that seasoned advisors make that newer agents don't always see. This is the stuff that isn't really just like flashy, like we're talking about the things we do behind the scenes, okay? That's really what it is. But it's also about what truly separates the hobbyist from the actual travel professionals in the industry. So if you are live here, go ahead and drop a quick hello in the chat so that I know that you are here. And if you happen to be watching this on a replay, go ahead and comment replay for me so that I know that you stopped by. So let's go ahead and start, okay? But before we dive in, I do want to remind you guys on Thursday, I will be doing a training called 5 Ways Travel Agents Get Paid that nobody talks about, okay? So make sure you guys join me live on Thursday at 5 p.m. PST. And also on Friday, I am doing corporate Zoom. I do the first and fourth Fridays for corporate Zoom. So that's with Evolution and Archer. And so if you know, you know, okay? But I'll be there at 5 p.m. Pacific on corporate Zoom to talk about what social media platform you should be using and why. And I'm even covering the ones that you guys always ask me about, the Pinterest and the LinkedIn. Yeah, okay. So make sure you also join me on Thursday night and Friday night as well, because I have some really cool trainings. But let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? Tonight we are talking about behind closed doors, what experienced travel advisors do differently. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, a lot of you guys see them and you're like, oh, they just got lucky. They just have this, they have this. No. Luck can only take you so far in the travel industry, okay? Yes, you might get lucky with the first couple of bookings or the first couple of leads, etc. Yes, that might be luck, but 90% of what keeps you successful around here is completely based off of structure. So tonight, that is really what I'm going to be talking about and just kind of let you guys in on the deeper side of the travel professional industry. Yes? So let's get started, shall we? Now, of course, before I start, I always like to just show this to you guys in case you want to screenshot it, because I get asked all the time what I'm doing for the month. Now, of course, I'm going to, it's already posted in Evolution, so you guys should have it there, okay? And then I also will post it on my YouTube channel so you can have it. But if you need it, this is what I'm doing for the entire month. Thursday, I'm doing the 5 Ways Travel Agents Get Paid. And then next week following, I'm doing a commission breakdown because there's so much extra commission that we don't ever talk about, okay? So I'm going to talk about all the different types of commission. I'm going to start stepping more into AI. We've already developed our AI twin. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to make AI commercials step by step, like the one I just made, okay? The one at the beginning, that's straight AI. That lady is not me. That lady right there is me. But I took her and I turned her into a commercial. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do that, okay? And it's very easy. Once I teach you, you're going to be like, oh, I didn't know it did that. It does. Okay. We're also going to talk about the 4 systems that every travel advisor needs. Those are my 4 basic systems that I always teach about. I'm going to cover those. I'm going to do a full VAX Vacation Access walkthrough because I use them the most other than Vacation Express. Vax is like my home base where I normally start. So I want to talk about all things Vax, from how you guys can book flights in there to how you guys can get reward points for your bookings. Like I want to talk all things Vax, okay? And then at the end of the month, I'm going to cover everything as a funnel because you guys forget about everything that you already are doing and how it plays a part into the big picture. So I like to use that training to just kind of build value into what you're already doing and how you can connect the pieces that if they're missing. Okay. And then lastly, an AI travel advisor, how I use it every day. Because I feel like I give you guys a lot of AI, but I don't tell you what to do with it. So I'm going to cover that. And then on the last Tuesday of the month, I'll do a live travel advisor Q&A. Okay. So that is what I'm covering for this month. I'm also doing corporate trainings and corporate presentations and all the fancy stuff in between. But for my channel, this is what I will be covering throughout the month. Now, another thing you guys are going to notice is that I have a lot of live replays, okay? I cover so many topics that not everybody can catch them. So I base it off of what you guys watch the most. I actually replay it throughout the week so you guys have another chance to catch it. I typically am not on those live replays. Sometimes I pop in and pop out. So if you comment something and I don't comment it right away, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just I didn't see it, okay? And let's talk about that while we're here before I even start my training, okay? You guys comment a lot for the packets and the just different things that I give out, okay? There's a delay on when I get it to you, and I'm going to explain why. It takes me about 2 hours to reply to all of your comments. Yeah, there's a lot of you, okay? There's one of me and there's a lot of you. And there's a lot of people that watch replays. So when you guys ask me for them, it's not that I'm not trying to give it to you right away. It's just that there's so many comments that I have to go through them, okay? Then I hop over to TikTok and I have a lot of comments on what I'm posting there. So there's a delay for me to get it to you guys. So I promise I'm not ignoring you and I try to keep up with it as much as I can. But there's roughly about a 2-day delay from when I start commenting, okay? So bear with me, okay? There's a lot of you and one of me, but that is what we're doing for March, and that is how I reply to people on comments when I get overwhelmed, all right? So let's go ahead and start the training for tonight. So the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to being a seasoned travel advisor, the one thing that we really learn as we grow into the travel advisorhood, is what I'll call that, is that we learn our value. And a lot of the times we learn our value through painful experiences sometimes things that, just didn't go the way that we thought they would go. Yes. So we learn that a lot as we grow into it, but a lot of new agents don't have that. So I'd like to share that not every inquiry is your client. And that's the biggest thing that experienced advisors know. And we tend to dictate our time when we get the first kind of feeling of what a client is going for, especially for someone like me who goes viral quite a bit when it comes to like TikTok. I get a lot of comments on there. I can tell how serious a person is by the way they're responding, and it's normally the first couple of responses. It's normally right then I can dictate it, okay? People that have been here for a while, okay? We qualify first. The new agents, they reply instantly, they over-explain, they panic sell because they want to get in there and just close the deal. We acknowledge that people who are booking travel are not going to be probably closing the deal on the same day. It is very rare that somebody just comes in, likes it, books it, let's go, right? We acknowledge that it's going to take us a little time, so we build into it. So we do that by qualifying first. We clarify their budget and actually make sure it's something that we can obtain. If I feel at any point that that budget is not going to work, I will tell them. I'm like, hey, I like this. This sounds great. But I'm going to tell you, as somebody who's booked this before, that's not going to work. Now, I do try it before I tell them that. Like, I will try it several different ways through Vax, Vacation Express, whatever I'm booking. But if I know that it's not going to work, I will set the clear expectations as, yes, this is actually what you can do with that budget, or this is what I can do with the time that you want to go. This is what's available. Like, I set all of those expectations because I have one goal in mind. I'm protecting my time. And that is what experienced advisors do. we learn very quickly that our time is our money a lot of the times. And like, because it's very easy to spiral here. Can we all agree? Yes, we can spiral easily here. I don't know what it is about us and spiraling, but we like to spiral here. It's a thing for us, okay? So once you spiral enough, you learn your time and you learn to protect it, because you're like, I don't want to waste my time on doing this again, right? So we protect our time and we do not chase every inquiry. We can tell what somebody's intentions are just by talking to them. And that's something you build over time. Another thing that we do, okay, we control the process. And I don't know why it's going to show the text like this on a lot of these slides, so just ignore this. The new text, I'm trying new text slide makers, okay? They're not working for me, but just ignore it. Anyways, so they control the process. That is the next thing that I want to talk about, because a lot of you guys, especially when you're new, you just send it to them and then you hope for the best. That doesn't work. That's not well, you just let me know how it goes. No. When we send out quotes and when we are talking to them, we're giving them the next step and we're telling them what to do. This gives people less time to think. The more time they think about it, the less likely they are to book it. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. Okay, I was on Temu earlier, actually last night. I was scrolling pretty deeply on Temu. There's certain things that I want, and they're like little upgrades in my house. And I tried to sit down and I'm like, if it's cheaper on Temu, I go through Temu, right? And every time I would put something in the cart, it would tell me like I had to do some kind of shipping because of the new tariffs crap that's going on. With that, every time I would add it, it would add like $10 more. And then it would make me go back and forth. And then I would think about it. And then the more I thought about it, guess what I did not do? I did not do it. I didn't do the sale. Okay. That is what I'm talking about. New agents, they always want to end it with, well, what do you want to do? Let me know if you have questions. Like, let me know what you think. Okay, that's how new agents always, we don't end things around here when you're experienced. You want to tell them what's next. So based on what you told me, here are the best 2 options for your trip. That automatically puts it as, I recommend this to you. I'm your advisor. I'm telling you where to go. Okay. They lead with recommendations. Don't overwhelm them. They don't put a lot of, like pressure onto them, but this is the best options that you have. Here's what we do next to secure it, is how I would end that. That way, I'm telling them basically like what to do. If we don't tell them what to do, if we don't tell them how to close it, then we don't end up closing it, okay? And I refer back to my Temu sale, okay? Temu, they get you, right? And they tell you it's cheaper, but then as you go through the process, you're realizing it's not, it's this, it's that. They over-explain, they give me too many options, and they give me too much time. They're not closing the deal. That's the difference between buying online and buying in person. We have the process, the ability to control it. We have the ability to close it, and we have the ability to get them the best deal, right? They do that on their own, they spiral. We all know that, yes? All right, now, next part. We price with confidence, okay? This is something that new agents always do. They always, when they come to me about it too, they'll be like, oh, well, they might have found it cheaper, or they did this, or they thought about it. And like, you guys lack that confidence in yourself because you don't have enough experience. Okay. And that kind of confidence comes over time. So don't feel like if you're new and you're watching this and you're like, oh, well, I don't have that yet. No, you're right. You don't, but you will build into it. I promise you. Okay. But what experienced advisors do, they price with confidence. I know what it is, okay? I will go in Vacation Express, I do a quote, here it is. This is the best 2 options. This is where you should do for these dates. Here you go. Have a great day, right? Like, I don't come in there, I don't over explain it. I don't apologize for it. I don't discount it out of fear, because if I discount it anything else more, I'm losing income, right? They have to set like a precedence, like, here's my price, here it is. All right. Now, experienced advisors, they do this because they understand 2 things. One, the commission is earned. Okay. I can't explain to you how many times that I've seen new agents lose themselves in a trip that they are working on, and then the commission is like $100. Like, you guys have to set and understand that this is not worth the time of arguing or looking or price comparing or anything. Okay. This is what I have. This is the price that I have. Here it is. Okay. They don't like it, they're not going to book it. You can't convince somebody to book it if they think is the best price with this, that. No, this is what I have. This is what we're going with, right? That sets the precedence. Now, the reason that experienced advisors are able to do this is because they understand the value in themselves and they understand the value of what's provided. Okay. Think about it like this. If somebody comes to me and they ask for a quote and I give it to them within 24 hours and they have the exact details of where they're going, what they're doing, how they're getting there, and here's the total price, I've already put it all together for you. That's value right there, right? I don't have to do anything other than that. I don't have to explain why it's this price. I don't have to sit down and go into deep details of each layer of it. Nope, this is what I do. This is how I'm advising you. That's how it's put out, okay? That is the expertise. That is how people close them, because it's the confidence of, I know this is what it is. Here's the best deal, right? Now, that doesn't mean I don't explain things, okay? That's not what I'm trying to get to. I want you to understand that there's a confidence that comes behind it, okay? Think of it like if you're going to go buy a car, okay? If you go and buy a car and I know that's exactly the best example I can give you, okay? They show you the car, right? They're not sitting here explaining every single detail of the car. They're not giving you the price breakdown and all the taxes and fees and 1,000 administration fees they're going to put behind it. They don't do any of that when they're closing the car, right? They're just showing you the car. They're giving you the details of how, like, the car does the fancy things. That's exactly what I'm talking about, okay? Those people, they close with confidence. You have to do that just like that, okay? You just provide them with the deal. Let the deal close itself. Now, of course, we're going to give them all the details if they want and all the fancy upgrades that they ask for, okay? But what I want you to understand, experienced advisors, they close way more with their confidence and what they provide than trying to pressure them into it, okay? New agents, they automatically feel the need to over-explain. New agents feel the need to, like, oh, well, okay, like, and that opens a window. That opens a door for them to go and search and find it on their own. We're not trying to do that. This is what I have. This is what it comes with. Okay. This is the price. Boom. There. Okay. That will close you faster than over explaining every single time. Next one. Now, I put this in here because I did not realize this at first. Okay. And I realize it now as somebody who's experienced, but I did not know about systems when I first started. Nobody explained systems to me. And I know when I first show you systems, you guys get overwhelmed as new advisors. But I promise you, if you just take a small part of my system and just kind of initiate it a little bit every time you go, put more in there, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then once you kind of step back, that's what I did. Every time I teach you guys a new system, it's because it's something that I've implemented over time. I never teach you guys something that I don't have experience on. Okay. So I tell you guys this because nobody told me it. That's it. I'm going to be honest with you. Experienced advisors use systems, and they're not going to put them on blast for everybody to see. They're just not. There's something that they've developed that they're comfortable with. But behind those scenes of those systems, they have templates in there. They have checklists in there. They have CRM tracking, which is my digital command center that I've showed you guys and given you copies of. They have follow-up reminders. That follow-up is probably the most important part, and they use group trackers, okay? It looks effortless, especially to us as people who are watching them, right? We're like, wow, they closed that whole group. Okay, they can't close a group without a tracker. They can't, right? But the reason it looks like that is because it's organized, and that's not something that people really put out there. But the experienced advisors, they have learned how to develop their own systems. A lot of us have different types of systems, and it's because we've learned after failing so many times. That's it, right? After you get to a point where you get exhausted constantly getting new leads, you realize, oh, well, I already had leads and I already had bookings, so why am I not just using them? Like, that is something that you kind of trigger as you go through, and that's what that system is. Once you develop that in your brain where you're like, ooh, why did I not just use my original ones? Okay, fine, let me go back to it. That's when the follow-up reminders kind of click in, okay? Now, with that, okay, I want to say the follow-up is going to be one of the key places you guys get money, and I explained that on one of the slides, but it kind of correlates, right? They don't rely on one platform, and that is also kind of a platform. Following up is a platform. Going on person is a platform, right? They understand that visibility is not something that just happens overnight. It's not something that is instant gratification, and it's not something that's going to come from one specific platform, okay? Now, I'm going to explain it in terms of me, all right? I originally started on social media. I first started with Facebook, okay, and I built into that a little bit, and then I built more a little bit to TikTok, and then I built a little bit more into YouTube, and then I built more into groups. I have my own group now. I also do email marketing, but this didn't all happen at one time. And also, I have my repeat clients and then the referrals from them too. But what I'm trying to get to is that they understand, and experienced advisors will really kind of zone in on specific platforms, but they're doing that to build visibility into layers. Okay, they're not going to put all of their focus, time, and energy on one platform. So you'll see some of them kind of dibble into social media and they'll post there. A lot of experienced advisors use their own platforms eventually. I think it's because they just build into it, just what I've seen. Okay, but they start with social media and they build into there. While they're doing that social media, guys, they are grabbing emails. That email marketing is a huge potential to grab clients because people get emails all the time. So they have email marketing going out too. And they're grabbing emails from social media. Okay. They also have private groups. I have a big private group that I use for my deals and my bookings. I've built into it over time, and I invite my clients to it, and I invite people that are interested in booking. I invite them to that group. That private group there, it just has something that I'm posting my deals, I'm posting different things. It's like exclusive access for them. Okay. I also have repeat clients. I have some clients that I've booked that do trips every year. That came with just over time. Okay. I got my first repeat client on year 2, and he actually came to me ironically at the beginning of the year. It was New Year's Day, and he was my first booking on my year 2, and he has booked a guy's trip with me ever since. Like, it just kind of happens. Okay. I can't explain it to you. That's the only way. All right. And then from there, I've gotten referrals from him alone. I've gotten 3 different referrals, and he was actually a referral from a client of mine. So, like, the reason I tell you all of this is because a lot of you guys, especially when you first start, you start posting on one platform, and then it doesn't work, and then you get upset and you get frustrated, and it's just like there's so much more out there, and there's so many different layers, and there's so many different options to build your visibility, to not get hung up on one. And experienced advisors don't ever rely on one platform, and if it flops on the one, they'll just go to the other. Okay, they don't depend on one algorithm, is what I'm trying to get to. Okay, now with that, they follow up. That's the second part, and this is actually a platform to them. This is a platform of revenue because there is a lot of money that lives in follow-ups. Absolutely. New agents, they wait. They get nervous about the follow-up. They get nervous about reaching out to people in general. Like, that's just something that kind of kills the confidence, and that silence, honestly, it kind of kills your income too. But experienced advisors don't do this. They check in a lot. We check in. I just text my clients now. They just got back from their cruise. I'm automatically following up because guess what happens after you book one cruise? If you want to book another, they go on a family trip every year, so they need to start planning 2027. I'm following up, right? Okay. I check in. We follow up on quotes. As soon as I send a quote, I automatically follow up in 3 days. I even have emails reminders that follow up inside there that go out. Even if I don't talk to them, my email will. Okay. We follow up before deadlines. I have a tracker, which you guys have seen, my digital command center. It has in there when the payments are due, and I highlight them as I get paid off so I can figure it out. And every week I look at that so I know when a payment's due. And then following up after trips. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of people are willing to put down a deposit on their next trip as soon as they return from their first one. It's normally within 10 days. People like to go ahead and start thinking about the next one. So I need to come in there while it's hot, especially for cruises. I will go, oh yeah, we can actually just reserve that for like the $250 deposit, and then you can have plenty of time to pay it off. Like, that is where it's at. Okay. Money lives in the follow-up. Yes. Okay. Continuing. Last. Ooh, this is a good one. They protect their energy. Yeah. I think one thing that, and especially as a mentor, when we have agents come to us and they'll automatically be like, well, they did this, and then they looked up this, and then they found this prize. As soon as an agent comes to me, I go, send to me what they found. Like, let me see what they found, because it's probably not the same thing that you found. Yes? How many times has that happened to you? I know it happens. It happens all the time. I've had somebody price check me on a flight one time, and I was like, sir, I'm not even making money for booking your flight. Like, I'm just doing this to be nice to you. And he sent me a price check, okay? And he quoted a one-way flight, and I quoted a round trip. Immediately, and I said that. I said, this is not the same flight. Oh, sorry. Okay. Like, we have a lot of experience in this, and that's why I say experienced advisors, because it is something that all travel advisors go through. And once you kind of learn like how to establish yourself, okay, the first thing you're going to do is protect your energy. I just had somebody a while back, like, I did a whole quote for them, and I priced with confidence, and I gave it to her, and I said, all right, let me know when you're ready to book. Here's exactly what you do. I need $250 to reserve it, but for right now, all I need is names and date of births, and I can close it for you. Okay, that's a closing, right? Left it there. How about she came back with, oh, well, we found it so much cheaper on the site. And I said, well, what did you find on the site? Let me know. How about I immediately went to the site? She said she found it directly. So I went directly to, it was Desire. And I quoted it. And then I took a picture of it and I sent it to her. And I said, that's strange because this is what I'm getting on the site. And then she didn't say nothing. And then she came back and said, oh, well, let me show you what my boyfriend found, right? She didn't say nothing. She never sent it. She never said anything that her boyfriend found. And I said, okay. And she never sent it. 2 days later, she called me and she booked it. I don't know why, but I'm not going to argue with you. Like, if you tell me you found it cheaper, I know you didn't find it cheaper. So let me show you what I found, right? Like, I just, there's just so many things. Like, when people come to me, like, and I know I'm not going to make a lot of money on it. I'm not going to waste my time. And it's not that I don't want to book every client. It's just my time is money. Okay. Am I going to get enough money from that whatever I'm doing, right? And a lot of you guys, when I say that, you're like, well, I'm new. I don't have the ability to do that yet. No, you will. You will. Even if, I've been here for 4 years, okay? And even if you are somebody who's just starting and you're like, I want every booking, you will learn very quickly to protect your time and to protect your energy. And that is probably one of the most beautiful parts about being in the travel industry. Not all of these people have to be clients, but there are enough clients out there that will give you the right time and the right energy. And they will bring you to a new level of being successful. And most of the times, we don't even know them, right? So, what do experienced advisors do? They protect their energy. They don't argue over price. We do not price compare. We are not Expedia. We do not price quote people. We don't do that, okay? We don't chase low intent clients. We qualify them as soon as we start talking to them. If I feel like they are low intent, I do not chase them at all. I do not over explain my policies or my prices. I don't tell them, like, this is exactly why it's this way. Nope, this is what it is, okay? And then as well, we set boundaries very calmly because the boundaries are what build longevity. I set very clear expectations for my clients. I have it set up to where they know exactly what to expect when I'm going to talk to them. I even have it planned out to when I follow up with them. I even let them know I'm going to be following up with them. Like, I'm going to let them, okay, I'll follow up with you in a week. Like, if they tell me, I'm not ready, I need to look over it, okay, I'll follow up with you in a week, right? Those are the types of things that they like to expect. The more professional you guys are with this and the more boundaries that you set and the less you worry about what they're constantly going to do or think, the better you are. I'm going to give you a prime example. Vacation Express, if you guys do a booking within 30 days, they make you fill out their own credit card authorization form on top of ours, okay? And it's exactly like ours. I don't know why they do this, but that's just their policy. So I had this happen to me. And at first I kept thinking about, man, what is this client going to think? He just filled out ours and now I'm going to have him do another one. And at first I got into this like kind of mindset because I wasn't confident about it and I was nervous about it. But then I just sat down and I thought about this exactly, okay? I'm sending this to him to protect his time and to protect his investment. And then the moment that I switched my mindset with that, that's when I was realizing, like, okay, this has nothing to do with me. This is just part of the policy. I don't over explain policies, right? And I have to set the boundary of this is what is needed to protect you, because that way he understands it. And that's exactly what I did. Listen, I sent him a text and I said, hey, I just sent you an email. Vacation Express is asking for extra clarity on, like the credit card auth, blah, blah, all of the stuff that ChatGPT put in there. Okay. I'm not typing that. And then as soon as I sent him a text, he immediately had it sent to me the next day. And I was like, oh, okay. The reason it happened that way and the reason it kind of snapped to me was because I confidently just told him, this is what we need to do. I protected any type of weird energy. I protected any type of lack, right? And was just like, this is what we're doing. Do it, right? No questions asked. And it's that type of confidence that experienced advisors have. That is why we build longevity. That's why he's booking another trip with me. He just booked his Virgin Voyages cruise. Like, because I'm able to go in there and say, hey, this is what it is, right? But I don't want you guys to ever think as experienced advisors that we all don't go through it, because we do. We all go through it. We all think things like, oh, I don't know, like I'm nervous, right? Like we all go through it, but we just have so much experience of going through different things in the travel world that we are very more confident about it. And you guys have the ability to do all of that as well, okay? Something that you build into for sure. Now, continuing, enough of my preaching for tonight. They focus on repeat clients. Honestly, guys, repeat clients are way easier to book again than it is to constantly find new ones. And that's something that came to me roughly about 2 years in. Roughly about 2 years in, it was like, oh, I need to just talk to the people I already do. Okay. They understand the first booking is the hardest. It is. It is the hardest to get somebody to book with you. It is way harder to get them to book than it is to book again, right? But after they do that first booking, that trust increases, the ability to upsell increases because they trust you in a sense of you are their advisor. And once you do a well enough job, the referrals increase as well. Okay. Now, retention is quieter because it's not something you're going out and doing constantly, but it's stronger to hold on to because once somebody's traveled, they're more than likely going to travel again. All right. Now, with that, okay, we're almost done here. I'm not trying to keep you guys on here for too long because I feel like I've been preaching for a while. Yeah, I have. All right, that's fine. All right, so with that, the idea of it is what I'm trying to get to is that when we first start, we're just trying to get our first couple of bookings, right? And then we kind of go through that phase of where we're just trying to get on our feet. We're trying to get established, okay? When you are experienced, you lose that mindset very quickly because you're realizing you've been here long enough, you're in it regardless, you're going to keep going, right? So with that, you start thinking long term, and that really kind of shifts how you play out when it comes to your business, okay? We're no longer chasing those quick wins. A couple of bookings, great, but like you guys, for me, I want to point out, all right? I do bookings all the time. I do bookings all the time. I just closed a booking last night, actually. But I don't announce all of my bookings because I figure them more as quick wins. Okay. The reason I feel like when, like all the new agents, they're getting their bookings noticed and you notice they're booking a lot, etc. Right. When you start getting experienced, we're just over here. We're just doing it. We're not thinking of it as like, I don't know how to explain it to you without sounding weird, but what I want you to understand is that experienced advisors, we're still booking, but we're building something that's more than just bookings. And you guys will develop that too. Like you'll be like, okay, yeah, I booked that. That's great. Right. But you are focused more on it's like shifts into just establishing this long-term longevity of who you are as a travel advisor. And experienced advisors do this. They are more focused on building brand reputation, authority, building systems, and predictable income that they know is going to be established each year. Okay. They sense this like longevity over the urgency to constantly get bookings, etc. And I say that because I think about it like, I see people being announced on Evolution all the time, and those people are experienced advisors and they are top bookers, right? But even the people that don't get announced, I don't want you guys to think that they're not doing anything, okay? There's just some of us, especially like me, we work in the shade. We're in the background, we're doing things, but it's not always my main focus, right? When I get a booking, I'm on to the next booking. I'm like, okay, that's great, I did that, but I want to do something bigger. I want to do something better, right? What can hold me over for the next 6 months? Like that is what happens when you become an experienced advisor. We start thinking, how can we make this last longer? How can this be built into a sense of it's not my main focus, right? That is the difference. Now, what does this mean for you? Okay. I've told you a lot about all of the experienced advisors things that we do. Okay. But the reason that I want you to kind of understand this, and the reason I really thought to bring this into a training, is because a lot of us think that you just need more experience, you need more time to do things, you need more trainings, you need more of this. Okay. Yes, it does come with time, and yes, it does come with experience, but that is not really what you need. Okay. In order to make this work for a long time, or to work in your favor of getting more bookings, getting more this, getting more brand, whatever that is, okay, what you actually need, what I've said repeatedly throughout this training, okay, is structure, confidence, and consistency. That's really what it is. That is the difference between a new advisor and an experienced one. That's it. Okay. It's not magic. That's not what I'm saying. It's not something that you have to wait 4 years to have. It's just that ability to stay, the discipline to try something different, the ability to not just settle where you are. Okay. And I really think a lot of us don't realize how far we come. Okay. And let me explain to you. So this weekend, I was hanging out with Mr. Drew Santiago with Carnival BDM, and we went on the Carnival Jubilee and we walked through it. Okay. When I first got there, somebody from behind, I think it was Kathy, and she came up from behind and she hugged me, and he was like, "Oh, okay, Mrs. Celebrity," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "You're the celebrity here, Drew, not me, right?" And then as I went through, a few more people recognized me, and they actually knew my name, and then they knew my trainings, and it was like, okay, right? Now the reason I'm telling you this is because I I've been training for years, right? And I don't think I realize how much I affect people from here, right? Like I'm behind my screen, so I'm just teaching you things. But I don't think I realize how big that has gotten, okay? And I say that for to you guys in the sense of no, that's probably not going to happen when it comes to trainings, right? Because you're not a trainer, but you guys don't get to see what happens because you're at home. You don't get to see how far it goes and how far it travels and how other people see it until you start getting it out there. So I say that in a sense of don't be afraid to be who you want to be, because it happens when it's like in the process. Okay. Like I've been training now, like to a point, I think I've been doing this consistently now for 8 months. Okay. And in 8 months now, when I go to Carnival to go hang out on the ship, people recognized who I was. Like, I don't know how to explain it in another sense of you guys have the same capability of doing that. You just have to be structured about it, right? I'm structured. I do the same things every Tuesday and Thursday, right? I'm confident, obviously, about it because I'm here to teach you guys. And then I'm consistent, okay? You don't have to be here for 4, 5, 6, 8 years to have that happen, even with your business. Same thing happens with my Ash Knows Travel. Over there on my little passports to pleasure island where I do my adults only, I did all of that in 4 months. And then it wasn't because I had to sit down and like plan it out, excited. No, because I knew what to do, right? I did know what to do, but I taught you guys. I taught you guys the exact same thing, right? So there shouldn't be a need to have more experience at this part. I feel like what you guys actually just really need to do is structure yourself, be confident in what you're doing, and you're consistent. We have taken out all of that experience. Can you agree? Honestly, think about what you guys are doing. You guys are coming out of nowhere and you're now advisors, right? You're going to build into experience, but before you get that experience, you have the ability to learn the structure, gain the confidence, and be consistent with it, because that's all we teach about, right? So that is what I want you guys to understand. That is what I want you guys to get from this training, and to understand that you all have the ability to do this even sitting from home, just like me. Okay. So I hope this has helped you guys. I want to thank you so much for attending tonight's training. And make sure, of course, that you guys show up on Thursday at 5 p.m. PST. I have really good topics for this one, okay? We're going to talk about ones that nobody really ever talks about, and I'm going to break them down because I actually use them. So we're going to talk about 5 ways travel agents get paid that nobody talks about. So make sure you like this video, share it with your team, and of course comment if it helped. And I will be back on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific to talk about 5 ways travel agents get paid that nobody talks about. Till then, head over to my studio now where I will meet you at the chat box. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them there for me. Bye.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo. Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up.